Tally ho folks, and welcome to the ItsOcean Game of the Year Awards. It's kind of late, yes I know. So usually I would go ahead and make this huge skit show with lots of funny things going on, but I wasn't really feeling it this year. So even though I'm still a little bit dressed up, it's going to be a little bit more casual this year. Now before I start, I do quickly want to say there will be no spoilers for any of the games I'm about to talk about, so don't you worry. And if you haven't seen any of my Game of the Year Award videos before, one of the things that I do is that I talk about games that I discovered this year. So I have a separate award for that called the Discovery Award, which basically just means it's a game I discovered this year. Because I don't want to just talk about the games that I liked from this year, I want to talk about all the games that I checked out for the first time this year. Let's get into the Discovery section for all of the games that I discovered for the first time last year. If my 2021 was the year of Yakuza, then my 2022 was certainly the year of Persona. Earlier in the year, I started my Persona journey, which eventually led me to one of my favourite games I played this year, Persona 5 Strikers. Strikers is a direct sequel to Persona 5, but the gameplay is very different. You still have personas and magic and all that good stuff, but this game is a Musou fighter game. Strikers is more of a hack and slash title, with our phantom thieves tearing through hundreds of enemies in chaotic and fun battles. Turn-based, this game is not. The gameplay is incredibly fun with every Phantom Thief being playable. Each character has their own unique moves and playstyle, and switching between them is super fast, so you can get right back into the action. But as I previously mentioned, this game is actually a sequel of sorts to Persona 5, because even though the gameplay may be drastically different from Persona 5's turn-based combat, the story continues onward from Persona 5's ending. Strikers sees our beloved Phantom Thieves return with a cross-country road trip as they explore locations such as Sapporo. Wait a minute, this seems familiar. There's also Dotonbori. Wait a minute, this seems familiar. The road trip theme keeps the game fresh, constantly bringing new locations, new shops, and new memories to the table. However, one issue I did have with the game is the lack of side content. Persona games usually have social links or confidants and activities to do during your time with the game, and the social links are usually one of the things that I remember the most from these titles. But Strikers doesn't have them, which, while being understandable as this is a road trip after all, still sucks to leave behind. But the soundtrack is a goddamn banger, laying down awesome guitar riffs and a faster pace for this frantic type of gameplay.
See it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done. Let me teach you your love surprise. I'm coming. Being a device is not what you signed up for. Welcome back to your game show. So many melodies deep inside you. Listen, your rhythms I want to go for.
It is just mwah. Chef's kiss. Persona 5 Strikers was an incredibly fun game, even though it felt a little bit lacking in story compared to other Persona games. It has an incredible soundtrack, super fun gameplay, and it's not over 100 hours long like Persona 5. Overall, I really enjoyed the game and I highly recommend it, though I would recommend playing Persona 5 first. The Artful Escape is the story of Francis Vendetti, nephew of fictional famous folk songwriter Johnson Vendetti. This game is a wonderful and wild musical odyssey across all the galaxies. It's a fun and kooky romp through vast realities, but most of all, it's colourful. The story here is that Francis wants to break away from his uncle's musical reputation and find his own personality, his own sound, his own
persona?
And he does this by playing the greatest odyssey across every star system he can. The gameplay here is pretty simple. Hold a direction, hold button to make guitar, go whittly wee. But this makes for quite a relaxed and story-focused experience. It's a short game overall, averaging out at about 4 to 5 hours, but it is well worth your time. This game can be like... but then it's like... The Artful Escape was an absolute joy to play from start to finish, and it absolutely deserves to be on this list. Please go and check it out. What a fantastic game, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway, I might not be running the usual setup this year, but I do still have some cheeky brand new game reveals. Here is the grand reveal of Overwatch 3.
Attackers incoming. Prepare your defenses.
And there you have it, folks, an unnecessary new game with less content and more microtransactions. Could you ask for anything more? Oh yes, and I can also confirm right now that the Battle Pass will now cost $80. Road 96 is a game that I've been wanting to check out for a while. Your goal in this game is to get from point A of the map to point B. Events will happen during that journey, and these events can be random, which means that every playthrough can feel unique. Because the thing is, this game may not be what you think it may be, as you actually have to play through this game multiple times to see the story through. The idea here is that you are some random teenager in a country under political turmoil. You need to leave this hellhole and hopefully find a better life. So your goal here is to survive your point A to point B journey. This means finding food, money, and transport to get through your journey. This all culminates with one last big decision on how you get past the border, and your options can be different every playthrough. Road 96 ended up being one of my favourite games I played on my journey through 2022. Yeah, that'll be 2 lots of garlic bread and cheese, please. Yeah, I'll also have a large fries and Coke. Yo, Reggie, do you want a Coke with your meal? Yeah? Right, okay. Also a Coke with that meal too, please. Yes! Persona motherfucking 3, baby! As I previously mentioned, 2022 was the year of Persona for me, and you can bet your sweet clappable ass that I checked out Persona 3. I actually played both Persona 3 FES and Persona 3 Portable, and I had an absolute blast with both games. Now the strange thing is, FES and Portable are mostly the same, yet different. The main story and characters are mostly the same, the fights and the combat are mostly the same, but FES features full 3D day-to-day gameplay, and an extra epilogue chapter dealing with the fallout of the game's main story. But Portable does not have this chapter, and the day-to-day gameplay and cutscenes play more like a visual novel. However, it does include playable female character, baby! So yes, this version of the game allows you to choose between male or female for protag, and that is super cool. The male side of things is mostly the same as FES, but the female protag includes all new music.
Every time, goodbye to yesterday, breathe goodbye today. Smiling tomorrow, no one really belongs.
It also includes all new social links, which are kind of like this game's side stories, and all new romances. This is why I played both games. It's the same story, but when you're playing the female protagonist, it feels like a different experience. These games also have absolutely incredible soundtracks.
Enemies brutal, moment of truth, there ain't no truth. You're the only one world, one love. But the battle goes on, shadows all mass destruction.
Oh yeah, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Baby, baby, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Oh yeah, Malaysia, wiping over. I want gold, and then it's over. It's going ooh, da, ooh. 儚くた歌う世界を君の手で守ったから今はただ翼を畳んでゆっくり眠りなさい永遠の安らぎに包まれて Love through all
I'm sorry.
eternity.
Persona 3 FES and Portable are both absolutely incredible, and I highly recommend it. Persona 3 truly is a special game to me and was absolutely one of my highlights of 2022. I loved the entirety of this game and I cannot recommend it enough.
まだゆく輝くひとときみんなと一緒だったかけがえのない時と知らずに私は過ごしていた今はただ大切に忍ぶよ I will embrace the feeling 君はね確かにあの時私のそばにいたいつだっていつだっていつだってすぐ横で笑っていたなくしても取り戻す君を I will never leave you.
And next up, not a day goes by without me thinking about the way the world stepped in motion. When you walked into my life and we connected like we share the same map potion. It's a dancing game, you miserable fuck. So going straight back in with Persona, and Persona actually has rhythm-based dancing games, which makes a ton of sense considering the soundtracks are like
When stars smile and move, what a hollow can your eyes just dial in your mind. Fade into place the last two, right in the harmony.
No war out there every day. You can't hide from me. You gotta pray for the rules, but you cool, calling out in the face of this out street. When your friends and boss look alike on the face of it, they miss the history.
so a rhythm game makes perfect sense. And the fun thing here is Persona 3, 4 and 5 all have dancing games. Now, I will say that these games all play exactly the same, so I'm lumping them all together in this section. The gameplay is very similar to a lot of Japanese rhythm games out there. You press buttons as they match up, sometimes you hold them, sometimes you flick the analog stick to simulate a record scratch, and the difficulties can add more mechanics as you go higher. It is a lot of fun. These games are also really easy to get a platinum trophy on, so that's a recommendation to the trophy hunters out there. Also, Persona 4 Dancing specifically has a full story mode to it too. These games have some awesome remixes of existing Persona songs.
Snowflakes only know your face. A cold wind blows away.
Damn, what you wanna do? Actually, I already knew. Recognize what runs deep inside emotions you wanna hide, but you can't pretend forever. No, I see through it. I can see your movement. Stop the bullshitting. Stay real to it.
You never see it coming. You say that my mind is too fast for life. You're done. But the time it saved you, you're not surprised.
And there is also new music that were made specifically for these games.
No need for words, your eyes are telling everything. そのほどかな笑顔。黄昏の中ね、つるぎの影と影は
fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
The Persona dancing games are a hell of a lot of fun, with customizable characters, a great selection of remixed songs, and some fun story to go along with the action. I highly recommend checking out these games if you want a rhythm-based fun time.
Leaving y'all wasn't easy. Before the bitter good, much needed. Tonight's the night, reunite, party over here. No mass destruction needed.
And now, folks, it is time for another one of those cheeky game reveals. It's finally time. Let's see the next chapter of the Persona franchise. And there you have it, folks. Persona 6 is finally coming out, but not on Nintendo Switch. You'll get it on Nintendo Switch in about 15 years' time. And now let's move on to our winner for the Discovery Award. It has been a very, very good year for me in terms of discovery. Checking out all these games from the past that I never got a chance to play has been fantastic and was a massive highlight of my 2022. But one game took the absolute cake this year for me. The 2022 Discovery Award goes to... Now, I know that choosing Persona 5 over Persona 3 and 4 will ruffle some feathers, but I don't care. I absolutely adored Persona 5 Royal. The gameplay, the soundtrack, the characters, the style. I mean, just look at this! Oh my god! The story was incredibly immersive, the gameplay was incredibly fun, the day-to-day social system was addictive, the style charmed my pants off, and the soundtrack, oh my fucking god, the soundtrack!
It's not a game, I'm not a robot, and I challenge you. I'm not a phantom, I'm in your face and I'm here to see you through. I'm river in a dry land, the left is in a lost end, a heartbeat for a demon, a oasis in a strange land. People come and they go. Some people may stay with you though.
God tier! Persona 5 Royal had me incredibly hooked, but then somehow the new Royal chapter topped everything. This game may be long, over 100 fucking hours, but this journey was absolutely worth it. With a lovable cast of characters, incredibly fun battles, and one of the best soundtracks for a game that I have ever heard. Although, to be fair, I could say the same about Persona 3 and 4 as well. These soundtracks are insane, what the hell? Persona 5 Royal for me stood above everything else I played this year. And it is also now available on PC, Xbox and Nintendo Switch, so do not sleep on this game. It is an absolutely incredible journey that at multiple points had me genuinely crying. Crying real tears, not just tears of joy, but tears of sadness, tears of excitement, tears of everything, tears of the kingdom, because I was so invested in this fantastic game. That's how much I loved this game. I can't stop thinking about it. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I finished it. So my winner for the Discovery Award for 2022 goes to Persona 5 Royal.
Shadow is where my mind
off from your cheeks anymore. You want me to strive. I believe we can fly up in the sky.
Well deserved, well deserved. Excellent stuff. Round of applause, please. Anyway, let's move over to a little section that I call the Content Creator of the Year. Yeah, play the video.
I don't intend on whipping it out on stream. But sometimes it just happens! No, I'm sorry.
Sunset Overdrive was an Xbox One exclusive title developed by Insomniac Games. But in the year, The Artful Escape is an interesting sci-fi experience with gorgeous visuals, a quirky sense of humor, and decent music throughout. Tony Hawk's Arabian Wasteland.
Well, just, do you know what? If they're going to let me have all the scars, I'm going to have all the fucking scars. Oh, I can activate the mural. Oh, isn't that lovely?
Honey, Assassin's Creed leaks have just come out.
Yes, coming.
Okay, folks, the count is in. And I can reveal that your winner, drumroll please, is Valiant Attempt! You won it, Valiant. You can be happy about it if you... Alright, is there some sort of problem?
No, there's no problem. I'm just not gonna fall for it.
Then come on, man, be happy, you won! Content Creator of the Year, how awesome is that?
I've been watching the show, Ocean. I know that award isn't for me.
Oh, come on, man, of course that award's for you. Who else would it be for? Why would I do this whole thing if I wasn't going to give you the award?
You've already done it twice! The rule of thirds in comedy means you're likely going to do it a third time, and since I'm the third person to receive an award from this sham of an award show, it stands to reason that you're gonna pull this shtick again with me.
Okay, I know you're probably just upset about something completely unrelated, so I'm gonna let the comment about the show slide. But come on, man, why would I do that to you? Okay, we are best friends.
You mean the one collab we did and the occasional joking back and forth on Twitter?
Look, I figured it was about time that you get the credit that you deserve. I usually make comedic little jabs at the expense of you just to try and make things funny for the video. And I'm sorry about that, okay? I'm trying to be better. But I do think it's about time that I got to talk about how great your channel is.
You're really not trying to trick me here. Well, if you're really not trying to pull the fast one on me, then I'd like to dedicate this award to a few people. Starting things off, we have Satan, who I wouldn't be here without him. And
never mind, I got it wrong. The winner is Jake Paul.
No, wait, but you said...
Jake Paul, everyone. Everyone give a round of applause. I'm also going to be dedicating the award to our dear old girl, Queen Elizabeth.
She died?
Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's get into the Game of the Year category. Monkey Island was not a series that I was expecting to return to in 2022. But here we are! Return to Monkey Island is exactly what you would expect from a Monkey Island game, with its silly and sometimes meta comedy.
You look different somehow. New art style?
How nice of you to notice.
Jaunty soundtrack and a cast of super fun characters. For those who do not know, this game is a point-and-click adventure game. The game takes our playable hero, Guybrush Threepwood, back to the titular Monkey Island to finally find its secrets. The game also has a new but interesting art style. I wasn't a fan of this art style at first, considering it seems so different from past iterations of the franchise. But over my time with this game, it actually grew on me quite a lot, and now I actually really like it. The game also has some really beautiful visuals that are just great to stop and stare at.
Breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
Like I said before, Return to Monkey Island is exactly what you would expect from a Monkey Island game. So if you haven't played this game, or you haven't played any of the other games before, I highly recommend checking them out. They're a very fun time. Vampire Survivors was a game that I wasn't expecting to like. Oh my god, I was so incredibly wrong about that. Vampire Survivors is great in that it is an incredibly simple game with remarkably deep gameplay. The idea here is that you pick a character from a massive roster, pick a stage, and then you try to survive for 30 minutes. You can get power-ups that boost your attacks, new attacks and buffs to gain, and eventually what starts as something super slow becomes a pure power fantasy. The surprising thing here is this game kind of plays itself. Sure, you move your character around and you press buttons like in menus and stuff, but otherwise everything else is automated. You see this here? All these attacks going off? That's not me. I'm not doing that. I'm just holding the analog stick. And that is what I mean when I say that you can play this game with one hand, leaving your other hand free for a completely different activity. Wait a minute. What did you think I meant? I meant eating with your other hand, you filthy degenerate. There are a ton of characters, a lot of new abilities to unlock, and honestly, I became very addicted to this game very quickly. Please help me, my partner hasn't seen me in 2 weeks because I can't stop playing this game. It is also incredibly cheap to purchase. So please, if you like what you heard here, or if you're curious about this game, go and check it out. It is fantastic. God of War Ragnarok. What a goddamn game. Woo-wee. This game had me acting up for many reasons. Lady Sith, my mummy. More like Lady please sit on my face. Ragnarok is here. The fate of the gods shall be told in an epic conclusion to 2018's God of War. Epic battles, beautiful scenery, fantastic soundtrack. Everyone is here! So this game follows on from God of War as previously mentioned.
Boy
Is older now, he's got new stuff going on, but Kratos is still doing his trying to be a dad thing. But the gods beckon. And thus the pair find themselves wrapped up in a war for the ages. There are some absolutely fantastic performances here, with both Christopher Judge and our boy Sonny here outdoing themselves in this game. Meanwhile, Burr McCreary is back and he's all like... The scenery here is also absolutely beautiful. The vistas are made of dreams. The story was heartfelt and gripping. The action was heart-pounding and fun as all hell. Heim. For me, Ragnarok was firing on all pistons, and I absolutely loved it. I genuinely had a really tough time choosing between Ragnarok and my Game of the Year for this year. Ragnarok easily could have taken that slot. Tears of joy, tears of sadness, tears of excitement, tears of the kingdom. So those games were the runners-up for the Game of the Year, because there is one game that absolutely blew me away this year, and I loved every single second of it. It was such a special and wonderful journey. What is that game, you ask? Well... What can I say about this game? Way too much! But for now, you can have some of my thoughts. A Plague Tale Requiem absolutely blew me away. From its incredible vistas to its blood-pumping soundtrack. Everything about the sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence was amazing. Oh my god! Ooh, fucking The story absolutely tugged at my heartstrings, and I haven't stopped thinking about this game since completing it. These characters genuinely have a special place in my heart. The game looks absolutely incredible, boasting many beautiful scenes whilst maintaining the dark, dreary and rat-filled world from the previous game. The soundtrack can have moments of peace and beauty, but it can very quickly switch to adrenaline and dread. The gameplay was constantly adding new little tweaks and gimmicks that kept the game feeling fun and fresh, with puzzle elements that evolved alongside those new mechanics. Your arsenal is upgraded in this game with new tools such as the crossbow, which has a small amount of ammo but really packs a punch when you need it. Ammo conservation is the name of the game here. There are a lot of different ways to deal with your enemies in this game, but the game still feels tense, never letting up on that feeling of dread and fear. Overall, A Plague Tale Requiem was absolutely perfect to me. Everything was amazing, and as much as Ragnarok was also deserving of the Game of the Year spot this year, the story for A Plague Tale Requiem just hit a tad more for me, and thus Requiem is my 2022 winner. A Plague Tale Requiem was an absolutely special game, something that I'm not going to forget for a long time. I absolutely adore this game, so if you haven't played this game yet, please go and check it out. It was an absolutely wonderful, memorable and incredible journey, and it's one that I will not be forgetting for a long time. So adorable, yes you are. I love you so much, I just want to give you a big hug. The winner of the Game of the Year for 2022 goes to A Plague Tale Requiem. Absolutely incredible game. It was so wonderful. Hello, yes, I would like to dedicate this award to my main man and converted retired priest, Richard Nixon. Thank you. What the hell just happened? Anyway, in regards to A Plague Tale Requiem, we actually have one last announcement to make. Check this out.
That was good. I'm hungry now.
Let's keep going before you ask for more.
So that was the ItsOcean Game of the Year Awards for 2022. What a strange year it has been. We had complete flops like Saints Row and absolute gems like God of War Ragnarok. But anyways, thank you for watching. Special thanks to Valiant Attempt for that little segment that we had earlier.
What the hell is this crap?
What a great segment that was. He can go fuck himself. But anyways, my food has just arrived, so I'm going to say thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Pip pip toodaloo. Yo Reggie, food's here. Garlic bread and cheese. Yeah. Cheeseburger? Is that? Did you get a cheeseburger? Yeah, I can check. I don't mind check. Are you sure it was a cheeseburger? Because on my phone it says you got a kebab. That can't be right. Do you want me to call him up again? I can call him up again if you want, Reggie. I don't mind. All right, calm down. I know it's frustrating, but you don't have to take out your frustration on me, okay? I know you're mad about the computer chair that you had all those years. I know. People got you a new one, but still took too many years. Do you want me to call them? Do you want me to call them up and check? All right. It's ringing. Yes, yes, hello. I had an order for 7:15. Yes. For Ocean and Reggie, yes. It should have been garlic bread and cheese for me, and apparently the other meal was it a cheeseburger? Yeah. Was a cheeseburger and a Coke. But for some reason, it seems that they're currently trying to deliver the food right now, but it says on my order that it's a kebab and a Fanta? So I'm a little bit confused. Yeah? Right, okay. They said unfortunately they're not gonna, like, it will take another hour to get the cheeseburger. Do you just want the kebab instead? Alright, yeah, that's fine. We'll just take the kebab. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Reggie, food's here. Come on. Let's go.